Welcome back to my channel. My name is Johnny. For those of you that are new here, I make vlogs about poker, the lifestyle of poker, a little bit of travel, and some poker strategy mixed in. But today's video is going to be a little bit different. Recently, the poker world has been rocked by a cheating scandal on live streams by a player by the name of Mike Postle. And I've actually played with Mike, and I got around to reviewing our session from the time that we played back in August of 2018, and there were some disturbing hands, one of which I want to cover in today's video. The announcers happened to pull me into the booth to discuss this hand later on in the session. So since I discussed my thought process in a thorough manner, I'm going to let the live streamed footage play with my commentary, keeping in mind that this is from my perspective that Mike Postle doesn't actually know what I have. All right, as you can see, I joined the booth in the upper left-hand corner about 30 minutes after this hand actually happening and them asking me for my thought process throughout the hand. And in the upper right-hand corner is the actual live commentary. So I'm going to be going back and forth, switching back and forth between the live commentary and my analysis 45 minutes after the fact.
Now, there's another hand that we want to talk about here.
Yeah.
This is when you hit the...
When I raised with deuce 3 suited?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so I could have overlimped for sure that hand. I was in late position, but I wanted to take the lead in the hand. And given that, you know, I have almost 5,000 and there's a lot of players at the table that are also deep, I just figure start to narrow down hand ranges pre-flop there. So I raise it up. It's one of those spots where when you're in late position and you're super deep, you can start to definitely open it up. Deuce 3 suited is probably a little bit too loose for sure. Yeah, and then
But
the
it was
flop,
like all limpers in front of you, right?
yeah, the flop comes 10-10-3 with 2 diamonds, and it checks to me. And I actually decide to bet for value here. I didn't bet very big in relation to the pot because I wanted to get value from diamond draws. So I bet, and then the guy who had called in the small blind called, and at this point I'm already narrowing down his hand range because he called $60 pre-flop and because he called on the flop. I think that he has a lot of pocket pairs here. I think it's gonna be like a lot of pocket nines, pocket eights, pocket jacks, like those types of hands.
Yeah.
And I don't see a lot of tens that he's gonna have there because he was the first caller after I made a big raise out of the small blind. So I didn't think he would have a lot of tens there. So when the turn came, I didn't really want to try to barrel him off of pocket nines or pocket eights because I didn't think he would fold those hands. So I just checked it back and then obviously got lucky, quote unquote lucky, unlucky on the river to make a full house.
Now this is definitely going to be what I call a force call card here for Johnny Vibes. I don't think Mike P is going to check. I think he doesn't want to miss out on value. Oh, he does. He does. And now Johnny is definitely going to go for some thin value here.
Now I want to pause the video right here because even the announcers recognize that this is a terrible card for Mike to check on the river. River board pairs are under bluffed, and if Mike is doing any ranging here, he should know that my range should rarely contain a 3. So the best play on the river would always be to lead, as my hand will almost always be in a hero call type of spot. The only way you should ever be checking this river is if you think that either A, I will have a high bluff frequency in the spot, which I've already outlined that river board pairs are under bluffed, or B, you actually know that I have a 3 in my hand. And when he checks it over to me again, and I'm going for value with my
I think everybody in your spot goes for value there.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm just checking back there on that river.
Right
when
after
he
you
checks
get the
it to
check
you.
on the river, yeah.
So I value bet, and he check raises me. We already know that he's capable of check raise bluffing on the river there because we've seen him raise river bluffing earlier on in the session. I don't know if you guys caught that one.
Mikey's on the stream a lot as well.
Absolutely. And he is the type of player who, if there's anybody at this table who loves exploiting board texture, it's him.
Yeah, and my hand is pretty face up and I think it's going to be face up as pocket pairs that I'm thin value betting on the river. And I think that he knows that. So the fact that he knows that I'm going to have a lot of pocket pairs here and I'm pretty much never going to have a 10, that he can check raise exploitatively here all day long and just know that I'm never going to have a 10 here.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to check back a 10 on the turn with 2 diamonds on the board either. So it was one of those spots where I know that he's good enough and capable enough to read the board texture, to know the way the hand played out, and to know that I'm never going to have a 10 there.
And he goes for the big overbet.
Yeah, so
he made it look like that on purpose, obviously.
Yeah, but he did actually looked. even though like he can definitely have a lot of bluffs there, he looked really comfortable on the river. So I didn't want to pay it off, and I was like, you're gonna have a 10 here for sure sometimes, but it's always gonna be like 9-10 or Jack 10 or one of those. Like that's literally the only 10s that he's gonna have there. So I paid it off, and I don't hate my call there. I think that he's definitely capable of turning hands into bluffs there.
That was one of those leveling moments, right? Like you were talking about. It's like, you know that I know that you know, and it's just like, at what point do we just say, okay, cool, this is where I draw the line. This is, I mean, it's just a tough spot to be there.
Yeah, a lot of times people get caught up in what they have.
Yeah. And
they don't really think like what the other guy is thinking about your hand. So this is one of those hands where I went a little level deeper, where I was like, what does he think that I have? And when I realized that he knows that I never have a 10 here, it made the decision a little bit tougher for me.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Mike P is very thoughtful too in his game, and he's pretty well established pro here around Sacramento. So I think you're accurately putting that together. And there's definitely some times where he's showing up with the bluff there.
Yeah, because you're right. Because there's certain players where you just know that they're not even taking that into account, so you're not even sweating it. But you know that Mike P is.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for joining me today. I actually talk more about Mike Postle in my next video. Vlog number 67 available right here, I think. I'm not sure, but I go more in depth about him saying that he is just a master at live reads and an expert in human psychology.
Did he really say that?
Yeah, he said that. That's Olga, by the way. I'm going to be featuring Olga in some of my future vlogs where we are giving up this apartment and going on the road, traveling around the US, grinding for a living. And she's gonna be featured in a lot of those videos, as she's gonna be with me, as is our dog Calvin, traveling around. So I hope you guys join us for those vlogs. And thank you for joining me here today on this video. So if you're new here and enough of you click that subscribe button, maybe I can recover the thousands of dollars that I was cheated by Mike Postle in this session at Stones. I'll see you guys again tomorrow with a regularly scheduled vlog. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you in a poker room near you. I'm uploading a video right now to YouTube that shows a hand that Mike Postle plays perfectly against me. And I just want to note that although this is only one hand, the reason why I think he's guilty is because of a totality of hands that other people like Joey have uncovered.